G'day, beautiful bastards. I have one more No Man's Sky video before launch at the end of the week. Yesterday, on the 7th, we had patch notes drop for what will be the day 1 patch. Few minor fixes. The majority of it, though, is actually just upgrades to the actual game itself, which is great. As you see there, they expect future updates like these to continue to be free. Then they go on to actually, this section here is pretty much just for the guy with the leaked copy. So it just goes on to say that he will also be able to experience everything that they've updated, but he'll actually have to delete his save file before he updates if he wants to experience it. From then on, any updates, you won't have to delete any save files, anything like that. It's just a message to him, so don't worry about that. Then boring servers will be wiped on Sunday and again Mondays in the lead up to launch. So moving on, we have the good stuff. But it says beware, these notes contain some spoilers. I've read through it. I've avoided spoilers up till now. I've read through it. There are no real spoilers here. There are some bits of information on things that they've changed that hint towards the kind of astronomical size of the amount of upgrades in the game. There are no spoilers. I'm positive there's nothing that's really going to spoil it for you. All it's going to do is actually get you more excited. But if you're worried, please click off the video. I don't want to spoil anything for you if you feel that it's a spoiler and I don't. But let's go through it. Alright, so the 3 paths. There are now new unique paths you can follow throughout the game. You must start the game on a fresh save with the patch, as early choices have significant impact on what you see later in the game and the overall experience. The universe. We changed the rules of the universe generation algorithm. Planets have moved, environments have changed biomes, galaxies have altered shape, all to create greater variety earlier, and galaxies are now up to 10 times larger. Creatures are now more diverse in terms of ecology and densities on planets, which is great. We've added dead moons. They're low atmosphere and extreme hazardous planets. Extreme hazards include blizzards and dust storms, so that's great as well. As far as atmosphere goes, nighttime and day skies are now 4 times more varied due to new atmospheric systems which refracts light more accurately to allow for more intense sunsets. The planet rotation playtesting has made it obvious people are struggling to adjust to this during play, so its effects have been reduced further. Terrain generation. Caves up to 128 meters tall are now possible. Geometric anomalies have been added. Underwater erosion now leads to more interesting seabeds. And moving on, we have ship diversity. A wider variety of ships appear per star system and are available to purchase. Cargo and installed technology now more varied, and ships have more unique attributes. Then moving on to inventory, ship inventories now store 5 times more resources per slot. Suit inventories now store 2.5 times more resources per slot. This encourages exploration and gives freedom from the beginning. Probably going to increase it even further in the next update for people in the latter game phases, and will allow greater trading potential, which is awesome. Just the increase that they've put in there is awesome, and the fact that they're willing to work on increasing it even more once you're getting into the latter stages of the game is awesome. It's good to see companies actually working to just better their game as they go along and not intending to charge you shit for it. Alright, moving on, we have trading. Trading is deeper. Star systems and planets each have their own wants and needs based off a galactic economy. Observing these is the key to successful trading. We're still working on adjusting this based on how everyone plays, but all trading values have been rebalanced across the galaxy, giving a greater depth. A bunch of exploits have been uncovered and been removed. Feeding, one of my favorite bits. Creatures now have their own diet based on planet and climate. Feeding them correctly will yield different results per species, such as mining for you, protecting you, becoming pets, alerting you to rare loot, or pooping valuable resources. Always helpful. Survival. Recharging hazard protection requires rare resources, making shielding shards useful once again. Storms can be deadly. Hazard protection and suit upgrades have been added. Liquids are often more dangerous. Then we have graphical effects, lighting and texture resolution have been improved. Shadow quality has doubled. Temporal AA didn't make it into the game, but it's so close. Balancing. Several hundred upgrades have had stat changes. Mainly exo and ship, but also weapons. New upgrades have been added, so this is like huge. So just there, several hundred upgrades have had stat changes, so that is, like 300-400 upgrades in the game, which is just incredible. And it says it's mainly the exosuit and ship, but also weapons, so you could assume that at the least there's probably up to 100 for each of those items on their own. Alright, next up we have combat. Auto aim and weapon aim has been completely rewritten to feel more gentle in general, but stickier when you need it. Sentinels now alert each other if they haven't been dealt with quickly. Quad and walker AI is now much more challenging. Even I struggle with them without a powered up weapon, which sounds nice. Space combat. Advanced techniques have been introduced, like brake drifting and critical hits. Bounty missions and larger battles now occur. Pirate frequency has been increased, as well as difficulty depending on your cargo. They've gotten rid of an infinite warp cell exploit and rare goods trading exploits, among others. Another little message to the guy that got a leaked copy of the game. People using these cheats were ruining the game for themselves. But people are weird and can't stop themselves. They sure are. Okay, so stability. Foundations for buildings on super large planets. Resolve several low repro crashes, in particular when players warped further than 256 light years in one session, was only possible due to warp cell exploit above. So that... I don't completely understand that. I know that what they're referring to is that the guy that was playing the leaked copy was clearly warping further than 256 light years in one session, but then it goes on to say that it was only possible due to the exploit, but now they've removed the exploit. So I'm assuming that just by removing the exploit, that's how they've resolved the issue. But just seeing... 256 light years. I mean, my god. Just goes to show you how extremely huge this is going to be and how long it's going to take to get through it all. Space stations. Interiors are now more varied. Bars, trade rooms, and hydroponic labs have been added. Networking. Ability to scan star systems other players have discovered on the galactic map, increasing the chance of collision. Star systems discovered by other players appear during galactic map flight. That's fucking huge. I apologize for swearing, but fuck, that's huge. Like, that just makes it so much easier for us to be able to find each other potentially, which is just awesome, because that is what everyone wants. That is your PvP right there. So ship scanning for points of interest from your ship is now possible. Buildings generate earlier and show up in the ship scan, so that'll be helpful. Flying over terrain, pop-in and shadow artifacts have been reduced. Generation speed has been increased twofold. Planets with large bodies of water will be targeted in the next update. And then finally, writing. The Atlas path has been rewritten by James Swallow, who's the writer on Deus Ex, and himself. I think it speaks to the overarching theme of player freedom more clearly. Early mission text had been rewritten to allow for multiple endings. A little bit of a backstory on his love for Carmack. Who doesn't love Carmack? Next up, we're adding the ability to build bases and own giant space freighters. Also temporal AA and my new cloud rendering tech should be coming soon too. It will really change the game again and enhance it visually. The universe we've built is pretty large canvas. We've got a lot of ideas. This is the type of game we want to be. So base building and owning a giant space freighter. don't think I have to say any more than that. Thank you very much. So they are the patch notes for the day 1 patch, which will be available up as soon as you pick up that game. Not sure of the size of it, but as you saw there, it is going to be great. Some awesome improvements to the core game. And that's all she wrote. So thank you very much for watching. I will be doing at the very least a 12-hour live stream when the game comes out, potentially looking at doing 24, but we'll see how I go. I'll leave a link to my Twitch in the description down below. As I said, thank you very much for watching. If you aren't already subscribed, please do so. Leave a like down below if you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below if you want to tell me how retarded I am. I love all your faces. Love you very much. Thank you, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.